So let's go. Ready, Chief Clerk? We can come to that at a certain point now. Chief Clerk, we're ready?
We're ready, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Okay, let's go.
Let me continue that.
The 19th day of the 5th regular session of the 22nd Congress will now come to order. May we all share a moment of silent prayer. Roll call, Chief Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senator Aridos,
Yes.
Senator Christian,
Remind.
Senator Vigier,
Yes.
Senator Colon,
Yes.
Floor Leader Harper, Senator Gunman,
Yes.
Vice Speaker Moses, Senator Net of Pohnpei, Senator Net of Koshai,
Yes.
Senator Berman, Senator Romolo, Senator Urusumal,
Yes.
Senator Wali,
Yes.
Speaker Simina.
Yes,
Mr. Speaker, 10 members are present.
we have a quorum to transact business today. Acting floor, reading of the journal.
Good morning, Speaker. Good morning to all the members present and all of those tuning in, including our staff. I move that the reading of the journal be dispensed with. Second.
Second.
Then moved and seconded that we dispense with the reading of the journal. Those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carried. We now dispense with the reading of the journal. Next item, Chief Clerk.
Presidential communications for item number 5, none at the moment, Mr. Speaker.
Continue.
FSM Supreme Court communications for item 6, none also, Mr. Speaker. Item 7, member communications, none, Mr. Speaker. Item 8, departmental communications, we do not have any, Mr. Speaker. Item 9, agency or governmental authority communications, none also, Mr. Speaker. Item 10, state communications, none. Item 11, state Supreme Court communications, none, Mr. Speaker. Item 12, municipal or town communications, none. Item 13, foreign government communications, none, Mr. Speaker. And item number 14, miscellaneous communications, we also do not have any, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, we're now on our order of the day. Standing committee report. Do we have any, Chief Clerk?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Kindly disregard awaiting list number 22-32.
Okay, thank you. Next item.
Item 16, special committee reports, we also do not have any, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, next item.
Item number 17, for assignment of measures and communications, please refer to referral sheet number 22-95.
Okay, next item.
Unfinished business, none, Mr. Speaker.
Now on our PM calendar. First bill.
Currently under the bill calendar is Congressional Bill number 22-145 CD1 for first reading. CB number 22-145 CD1 is a bill for an act to amend Title 52 of the Code of the Federated States of Micronesia, annotated as amended by enacting a new Section 213 to authorize the payment of a performance bonus to public service system employees and for other purposes.
Short recess. Congress is back in session. Vice Chairman Christian, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, I move to defer.
Second.
It's moved that we defer the Bill 22-145 CT1 to the next session of Congress. Okay,
Second.
those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Said motion, said Bill 22-145 CT1 is deferred to the next session of Congress. Next bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We now have Congressional Bill number 22-226 CD1 for second and final reading. CB number 22-226 CD1 is a bill for an act to amend Chapter 8 of Title 53 of the Code of the Federated States of Micronesia annotated by amending Section 804 thereof in order to remove the earnings test for individuals age 65 or over who elect to receive only 50% of their old age retirement benefits by amending Section 810 thereof in order to allow individuals not fully insured at retirement age to elect to receive an optional lump sum payment for their full tax contribution into the Social Security system and for other purposes.
Chairman Permit,
Move to pass the said bill on second or final reading.
Second.
any second? It has been moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading, CP number 22-226. Discussion? Any discussion?
Sorry,
Short
sir.
recess up to the call of the chair. is back in session. We're still on CP 22-226 CT1 discussion. Any further discussion? If none, without
Mr.
objection.
Speaker,
Yes,
as I said during recess, there is an amendment that that I want to offer. It has been written and distributed, I hope, linked up. The chief clerk is shaking her head or is nodding, shake and nod. In different cultures, Indians shake their head if they're agreeing with you.
shortly, this. Congress is back in session. We're discussing the bill and there is that offer for amendment to CP 22-226 CD1 offered by Vice Chairman Christian. It's a short one, so I will ask Chief Clerk to read into the record.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We now have a floor amendment to CB number 22-226 CD1 offered by Senator Peter M. Christian. Item 1, in the title, page 1, after the words 65 or over, delete the following, "who elect," and insert the following, "are entitled." Item 2, Section 1, page 2, line 19, delete the following. The earnings test reduction under Section 603 of subsection 7 of this subtitle shall only apply if the individual elects to receive 100% of the total described benefits in this subsection. And insert the following. Individuals are entitled to 100% of the total described benefits in this subsection, subject to the earnings test reduction under Section 603 of subsection 7 of this subtitle.
Okay, motion for adoption, Vice Chairman.
Mike.
I move, Mr. Chairman,
Second.
Mr. Speaker, I mean.
Moved and seconded that the offer for amendment to CP 22-226 CT1 by Vice Chairman Christian be adopted. Acting for.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I move that the rules that prohibit substantive amendment on second and final reading be suspended.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the relevant rules, specifically the rules prohibiting substantive amendments on second and final reading, be suspended. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nay. Okay, motion carried. The relevant rules are now suspended. Discussion on the offer for amendment.
Question.
Speaker.
Motion, Chairman Usmo.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. May I request that the proponent of the amendment explain what, basically in simple language, what this amendment is going to do?
Okay, Vice Chairman Christian, if they ask.
Thank you, Speaker, and thank you, Senator Roosevelt, for your faith in thinking that I understand my own amendment. I don't. But let me tell you what I wanted from the bill, from the beginning of its introduction, is for a person to be allowed to continue to work and receive his Social Security benefit. Now, in Congress's wisdom yesterday, we passed something that reduced from 100% of benefit to 50%. And I support that in order for the bill to move on. My amendment simply is stylistic. As you can see, all the English words in the deletion appear in the insertion. So it's just a rephrasing of what needs to be done. And if you don't understand, Joe, what I just explained, don't worry, you're not the only one. I don't understand it myself. I like this law, this Social Security law, to be rewritten in its entirety in simple layman's language and get rid of all these terms that says earning test means, are you working or not? Are you earning money or not? It needs to say, if a person is working, he will get this. I'm sorry, Joe, but that's my best.
That person, if he choose to continue to work after 60, that person will receive 50% for as long as that person is working. Even when he turns 65, he will receive 50%. Is that the correct reading of this semantic amendment?
Yes.
No,
Very correct.
he has to decide to continue to work, but if he decides at 65 to retire, he should get his 100%
100%.
calculated benefit.
So if he reach, Speaker, if he reach 65 and he continue to work, he's still receiving
Gets
that
50%, only 50%.
Yeah.
All right,
at least
okay.
something.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion on the bill?
Question.
On the offer amendment? If none, there's no objection. Discussion is closed. We will vote those in favor of the adoption of the offer for amendment to CP 22-226 CD1 by Chairman Christian. Vice Chairman Christian, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carried. So be it. So we have CT2. Now, any further discussion on CD2?
Question.
Question.
Question has been called for without objection. Discussion is closed. We will vote by roll call of the delegations. Chief Clerk.
For the state of Chuuk, Chairman Arados.
Yes.
For the state of Pohnpei, Chairman Perman.
Amen.
For the state of Koshai, Chairman Wali.
Yes.
For the state of Yap, Chairman Rosmal.
I've been doing this state vote, so I yield the floor to Chairman of Money, Ways and Means,
For the
Chairman
state-
Fugir.
For the state of Yap, Chairman Figure.
I say no.
Okay, back.
Mr. Speaker, we have three states voted affirmatively to the said bill under second and final reading and one against.
Okay, CB number 22-226 CD2 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We now have Congressional Bill number 22-239 for second and final reading. CB number 22-239 is a bill for an act to further amend sections 9 and 12 of Public Law number 20-131 as amended by Public Laws numbers 20-154, 20-159, 20-172, 20-187, 21-03, 21-10, 21-38, 21-51, 21-70, 21-81, 22-55, and 22-83 to change the use and allotment of funds previously appropriated therein and for other purposes.
Shortly, Congress is back in session. Chairman Fugere.
Move for to defer action to the next session of Congress.
Yagan.
Then move to that CP number 22-239 be deferred to the next session of Congress. Those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carried. Said bill 22-239 is deferred to the next session of Congress. Next bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We now have Congressional Bill number 22-244 for second and final reading. CB number 22-244 is a bill for an act to appropriate the sum of $2,800,000 from the general fund of the Federated States of Micronesia for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2022 for the purpose of funding public projects and social programs for the people of Yap, Koshai, Pohnpei, and Duke states, and for other purposes.
Chairman Figure,
Move to defer action on the bill to the end of the bill calendar.
any second? Rodriguez. Congress is back in session. We're still on the bill calendar on bill number 22-244. Chairman Figueroa, motion for adoption. Passage.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that Congress passes on second and final reading, Congress Bill 22-244.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading, CB number 22-244. Discussion? Any discussion? Chairman Permit?
Speaker, yes, thank you very much, Speaker. I do have a floor amendment. Believe that copy has been made and distributed among members and also uploaded or linked up. I will ask the reading be dispensed with because it's quite lengthy, so I so move for its adoption.
Second.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded that the offered floor amendment to CP number 22-244 offered by Chairman Berman be adopted. Because of its length, we will dispense with its reading, and the relevant rules are still suspended up to this point. So discussion on the offered floor amendment.
Mr. Speaker,
Yes, Chairman Kulan.
Mr. Speaker, I have a oral amendment to the written amendment.
Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, on page 2, item 11, reduce line item D for the amount of 20 to 10 and create one line item.
Good morning, sir. Go forward na ako ba ang amendment?
Travel needs for
And you
10,000 include thereof.
Did you catch that, Chief Clerk?
So move.
Reduce item D, human remains repatriation to 10. And where does the 10 go?
I after the G.
Okay, new item I,
Travel needs
travel needs.
10,000.
Catch that? Okay,
So move, Speaker.
any second?
Second.
Moved and seconded that the offered oral amendment by Chairman Conan to the proposed floor amendment be adopted. Discussion on the.
Point of clarification, Speaker.
State your point.
Yeah, Speaker, no, I just, it's on page 3, right? Page
Page
3,
2.
and it carries the same alati, right?
That's right.
And then page 3, not 2.
Page 3, not 2.
I think it's looking at the earlier version.
Oh, he's looking at, yeah, it's on page 3, not page 2, so, yeah. All
It's,
right,
I
thank
think
you.
it's understood. It's understood. It's item D, human remains repatriation reduced to 10. Then a new item H to be called travel needs 10,000. Is that your amendment?
Yes.
Okay. All right, discussion on the offered oral amendment. Any discussion? If
Mr.
none,
Speaker.
no objection. Discussion is closed. Let's vote. Those in favor of the offered oral amendment by Chairman Coonan, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Right.
Motion carried. The offered oral amendment is adopted. We're still discussing the proposed floor amendment as orally amended once. Any further discussion on the offered
Yes, Speaker.
amendment? Yes, Chairman Rosenwald.
Yeah, thank you very much, Speaker. On page 1, the section pertaining to YAP's public project, under letter I, insert before the word IFAM, the in parentheses, FLALAP, comma, OLEI, close parentheses. And then IFAM woman, on and on. I shall move.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that the offered oral amendment by Chairman Orisimov to the proposed for amendment be adopted. Discussion on it? Any discussion?
Short
None.
recess, Mr.
Short recess.
Yes.
Congress back in session. There was that offered amendment, oral amendment. Can you please restate it for our records purposes? Chairman?
Yeah, thank you very much, again, Mr. Speaker. My oral amendment should read as follows. Before the word ifang, open parentheses, flanap, comma, oleai, close parentheses, and then on and on. After the word motors, insert the following phrase, to be used in Walian. I so move.
Second.
Second,
Second.
Moved and seconded that the offered oral amendment by Chairman Orisimov be adopted. Any discussion on it? Discussion.
Mr. Speaker, I don't want to meddle in Senator Rusmal's business, but Uliai has a lot of islands. Which island do you want this vote to be at? Waliai itself or Takailap?
Ryla.
No, it's the main island, the Flana Poliai. That's the
All right, thank you.
mother of those islands in the atoll. And people from there will be using it, but they can go to Takailap, Mariang, Paliao, Rail.
Enough. We understand. So enough.
Thank you.
Okay, Vice Chairman Christian, you're now assured of the intent.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
any
I
other
just want to be
discussion?
sure my friends in Waliai understand fully, yeah?
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Further
Mr.
discussion?
Speaker,
If none.
Mr.
and
Speaker,
objection? Yes,
Are we done with Senator Rusmal's?
we have to vote first.
Oh, okay, all right.
So if there's further discussion and without objection, the discussion is closed. We will vote. Those in favor of the offered oral amendment by Chairman Rusimel, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. The offered oral amendment is adopted. Okay, we should continue discussion on the proposed for amendment as amended twice orally. Okay, Vice Chairman Christian, you have the floor.
Thank you,
Discussing
Mr.
the-
Speaker and members of Congress. I do also have floor amendment to offer. I had typed it up and given it to Alik, and Senator Perman went into his office and took that piece of paper, so you don't see a breakdown of mine. I ventured to place forth the following. And here's a piece of paper that I will hand to the chief clerk with the breakdown of my my assigned amount that is shown on page 2, line 5. My amendments are to be inserted between line 5 and line 6.
So move.
Second,
Sure,
thank you.
Regis. So that's a written amendment. To just make sure we have it right. Okay, so let's go back. Congress is back in session. Vice Chairman Christian, you still have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker and members. I offer amendment to Congress Bill 22-244 with the following. Item 1, and the following amendment should be inserted between line 13, line 5 and 6 of page 2 of Congress Bill 22-244 without, whatever. 85,000 related costs for repair and delivery of Lady Pohnpei, and in parentheses, the following words: travel, comma, provisions, comma, contracts, comma. 15,000 repair costs for Lady Minto. In parentheses, the words parts, labor, consultancy fee. Item 3, Pohnpei Roads repair improvement, in parentheses, labor material rental. Item 4, children's medical cost assistance, 20,000. And item 5, students assistance, 20,000. And I so move for the adoption of the offered floor amendment.
Second.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that the Albert oral amendment to the proposed floor amendment be adopted. Discussion on it. Any further discussion? If none, without objection, discussion is closed. We will vote. Those in favor of the adoption of the Albert oral amendment by Vice Chairman Christian, say aye. Opposed, nay.
Aye.
Motion carried. The offered oral amendment is adopted. We're still discussing the offered oral amendment as amended 3 times now. Okay, any further amendments? Discussion? If none, without objection, discussion is closed. We will vote. Those in favor of the adoption of the offered oral amendment offered by Chairman Berman as orally amended, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. So the offered for amendment by Chairman Berman as orally amended is adopted. We now have CD 1. Any further discussion on CD?
Question.
Question has been called for without objection. Discussion is closed. We will vote by roll call of the delegations. Different.
For the state of Chuuk, Chairman Aritos.
Yes.
For the state of Pohnpei, Chairman Berman.
Amen.
For the state of Koshai, Chairman Wali.
Yes.
For the state of Yap, Chairman Urusamal.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Speaker, all 4 states voted for the said bill under second and final reading.
For that reason, CP number 22-244 CD1 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Currently under the bill calendar is Congressional Bill number 22-249 for second and final reading. CB number 22-249 is a bill for an act to further amend public law number 22-48 as amended by public laws numbers 22-52, 22-65, and 22-105 by amending section 2 thereof to change the use of funds previously appropriated therein to fund public projects and social programs in the state of Yap and for other purposes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that Congress passes on second and final reading Congress Bill number 22-249.
Okay, any second?
Second.
Second.
And seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading, CP number 22-249. Discussion. Any discussion? Short recess. This is good. If reading is good with any further discussion on 249?
Speaker,
Yes, Chairman.
yeah,
Urusamal.
just ask if, sorry, recess.
Short recess.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're back in session. Any further discussion? If none, and without objection, discussion is closed. I will now vote by roll call of the delegations. Chief Clerk.
For the state of Chuuk, Chairman Aritos.
Yes.
For the state of Pohnpei, Chairman Berman.
Amen.
For the state of Koshai, Chairman Wali.
Yes.
For the state of Yap, Chairman Urusamal.
Yes,
Mr. Speaker, all 4 states voted for the said bill under second and final reading.
CP number 22-249 is passed on second and final reading by Congress. Next bill.
We now have Congressional Bill number 22-250 for second and final reading. CB number 22-250 is a bill for an act to further amend public law number 15-32 as amended by Public Laws numbers 15-36, 15-44, 15-57, 15-63, 15-72, 15-78, 16-03, 16-11, 16-33, 16-46, 17-12, 17-21, 17-33, 17-40, 18-17, 18-67, 18-85, 18-104, 19-17, 19-100, 19-157, 20-34, 20-38, 21-144, and 21-167 by amending Section 2 thereof for the purpose of changing the lapse date of certain funds previously appropriated therein to fund public projects and social programs for the people of Yap, Koshai, Bonbay, and Chuk states and for other purposes.
Chairman Figueroa.
Move for the passage of the bill on second and final reading.
Second.
Second.
Moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading, CP number 22-250. Discussion. Discussion. Okay, without objection, discussion is closed. We will vote by roll call of delegations. Chief Clerk.
For the state of Chuk, Chairman Aritos.
Yes.
For the state of Bonbay, Chairman Perman.
Amen.
State of Koshai, Chairman Wali.
Yes.
For the state of Yap, Chairman Rosman.
Amen.
Mr. Speaker, all four states voted for the said bill under second and final reading.
CP number 22-250 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Currently under the bill calendar is Congressional Bill number 22-251 for second and final reading. CB number 22-251 is a bill for an act to further amend Public Law number 17-36 as amended by Public Laws number 17-48, 17-78, 17-87, 18-36, 18-60, 18-65, 18-84, 19-22, 19-109, 20-17, 21-18, 21-124, 21-161, and 22-126 by amending Section 3 thereof to change the use of certain funds previously appropriated to fund public projects and social programs in the state of Koshai and for other purposes.
Chairman Figueroa.
Move for the passage of the said bill on second and final reading.
Second.
Second.
Seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading, CP number 22-251. Discussion. Any discussion? If none, and without objection, discussion is closed. We will vote by roll call of the delegations. Chief Clerk, call the roll.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For the state of Chuk, Chairman Aritos.
Yes.
For the state of Bonbay, Chairman Perman.
Amen.
For the state of Koshai, Chairman Wali.
Yes.
For the state of Yap, Chairman Rosman.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, all four states voted for the said bill under second and final reading.
CP number 22-251 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We now have Congressional Bill number 22-252 for second and final reading. CB number 22-252 is a bill for an act to further amend Public Law number 20-141 as amended by Public Laws numbers 20-145, 20-163, 20-164, 20-190, 21-05, 21-33, 21-48, 21-67, 21-91, 21-182, 21-193, 22-34, and 22-69, and 22-77 by amending sections 2 and 3 thereof to change the use of funds previously appropriated therein for the purpose of funding priority infrastructure projects and other projects and programs in the states of Yap, and Koshai, and for other purposes.
Chairman Figueroa,
Move for the passage of the bill on second and final reading.
Second.
moved and seconded and Congress pass on second and final reading CP number 22-252. Discussion. Any discussion? If none, without objection, discussion is closed. We will vote by roll call of the delegations. Chief Burke, roll call.
For the state of Chuk, Chairman Arados.
Yes.
For the state of Pohnpei, Chairman Perman.
Aye.
For the state of Koshai, Chairman Wali.
Yes.
For the state of Yap, Chairman Urusumal.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Speaker, all four states voted for the said bill under second and final reading.
CP number 22-252 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Currently under the bill calendar is Congressional Bill number 22-253 for second and final reading. CB number 22-253 is a bill for an act to amend public law number 22-89 by amending section 1 and 2 thereof to change the use and allotment of funds previously appropriated therein to fund priority infrastructure projects for the people of Yap State and for other purposes.
Chairman Figueroa,
Move for the passage of the bill on second and final reading.
Second.
has been moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CP number 22-253. Discussion, short recess. Congress back in session. We're discussing CP 22-253. Any discussion? Okay, if none, without objection, discussion is closed. Let's vote by roll call of the delegations. Chief Burke,
For the state of Chuk, Chairman Arados.
Yes.
For the state of Pohnpei, Chairman Perman.
Aye.
For the state of Koshai, Chairman Wali.
Yes.
Yes.
For the state of Yap, Chairman Urusumal.
Yes.
Yes, Chief.
Mr. Speaker, all four states voted for the said bill under second and final reading.
all right, CP number 22-253 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, as of now, we do not have any more bills.
Okay, if no further business, let's go down to the resolution calendar. Any resolution, Chief Clerk?
Thank you, Mr.
Short
Speaker.
recess, Speaker.
Speaker, I do have one that
Sorry.
I would like to.
Recess. Withdraw and place. Conference is back in session. We're on the resolution calendar. Chief
Yes,
Clerk,
Speaker.
do we have any? Do we have any resolution, Chief Clerk?
Mr. Speaker, as of now, we do not have any resolutions.
Okay, Chairman Permit, you have the
Yeah,
floor.
thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to do a motion to withdraw and place 22 CR number 22-166 to our resolution calendar for today. So move.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that resolution number 22-166 be withdrawn from committee and placed on the resolution calendar for action. Let's vote. Those in
Thank you,
favor,
Mr.
say aye.
Speaker.
Yes.
Nay. Motion carried. So resolution number 22-166 is withdrawn and from committee and placed on the resolution calendar for action. Short recess. Chief Clerk. Conference is back in session. Read the title.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We Now I have Congressional Resolution number 22-166 for adoption. CR number 22-166 is a resolution approving and accepting a grant in the amount of $433,053 from the United States Department of Health and Human Services through the Assistant Secretary of Preparedness and Response to fund the CFSM Public Health and Hospital Emergency Preparedness Program, including all the terms and conditions of the assistance.
Drawing permit.
Move to adopt the said resolution.
And second.
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 Moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 22-166. Discussion. Any
Speaker,
discussion?
yes,
None.
Speaker,
And without
Speaker.
objection, discussion is closed. Yes,
yes, just a
Go ahead.
technical error on the date. It's not June 28, it should be August 1st, 2022. So if we can treat it as technical.
okay, let it be. Legal staff, take note of that. That's a correction to the date. Okay. All right, any other correction? If none, so without objection, discussion is closed. Let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 22-166, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Resolution number 22-166 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution, Chief Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, as of now, we do not have any more resolutions.
Short recess.
And
Thanks. Session, since there is no further business on the resolution calendar, we're now on item 21, introduction of bills and resolutions. If you have any measure to introduce, please pass them on to Chief Clerk. Next item is miscellaneous business. Acting floor. Your usual.
thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. It looks like today will be our last day, so I make a motion that the Speaker, Vice Speaker, and the real floor leader will review the journal of our proceedings this session from day one up to now, and make technical and grammatical correction to the journal as they see fit. And with that, I so move.
Second,
Second.
Been moved and seconded that presiding officers will do the review and approval of all necessary documents, especially the journals of our fifth regular session. Okay, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried, so be it. Okay, any other miscellaneous business?
If I may, Mr. Speaker, since I have the floor, I also wish to restate the concerns that I have been raising during during our session, throughout our session. And that is my disappointment that with all these things going on here in the CFSM and in the world, that there has hardly been communication from the states as well as from the administration. I specifically stated my concern on the late Vice President, the Honorable Joshua George, the lack of communication from the executive, from the president on that issue. I guess it's been put to rest, and maybe that's part of the reason with no communication. We have these world happenings in England, and again, our executive branch has been very, very quiet in sharing with the nation on the very moving and undertaking in the funeral procession in England. Climate change has been very difficult, and it's continuing to be difficult. Many of our islands are fearing that they may be 2 feet below sea level soon. And again, we seem to be not doing much about it. So I hope during this recess from session until our next regular session in January, or a special session before that, that we will work on very important programs, including if the Department of Education and Foreign Affairs and Finance can continue to seek help from World Bank on the school that was proposed, but because of our lack of understanding of the efforts and lack of information shared with us in meetings, we have not been able to do anything with it. So with this, I will rest my case, and I thank on behalf of Floor Leader Harper, who's been sick, as he usually make the miscellaneous business of thanking all our staff for the hard work, Chief Clerk, our legal counsel, as well as the other staff that have make our work easier for this up to 19 days today. All the people that have contributed, including pages, as well as the typing secretaries, and all of them have made our work easier, and I thank them on our behalf. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Acting Floor, for stating what is normally the role of the floor leader. Thank you for that. Any other miscellaneous business?
Mr. Speaker?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Christian first, and Chairman Winnet.
Thank you very much, Speaker, and thank you, Chairman Willie, for letting me go first. Very soon, the issue of COVID-19, the pandemic, will be overshadowed, if it is not already overshadowed by other important matters that this Congress deals with. And because of that, I am afraid that I might forget in the next session. So since I remember it now, I take this opportunity in this forum, because I have no other forum for doing it, to thank everybody who had a hand in keeping Micronesia well during the pandemic, the COVID-19. I particularly want to thank the public health people who were tired, very tired during their working days. I thank the frontline people at the airports, the police force, and everyone who had to sacrifice their own personal health in order to be able to comply with the mandated health procedures and protocols that were established to minimize, to stop the entrance of COVID or minimize its effect on the Micronesia population. I know this is not the thank you they expect, but it is what I have to give. And I say this with all sincerity, that their help is very well recognized by us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vice Chairman Christian, for saying what I'm sure all of us members of Congress have been thinking of, and the first one to approach the subject and expressly stated on the records. Okay, so any other any other miscellaneous business, Chairman Willie?
Thank you. Thank you, Speaker. I was hoping I would get or see something from the family of the late Vice President to thank each and every one of you, but so far nothing. So in that regard, I want to orally make on their behalf to say thank you to all of you who have contributed for the funeral services of our late Vice President Joshua George, especially the YEP delegation for their monetary contributions and Chairman Romulo. And thank each and every one of you also for your contributions to the funeral services. Below my left. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman Willie, for that statement. Okay, any other miscellaneous business? Senator Figuer, Chairman Figuer, you have any miscellaneous business?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to thank the staff of the Ways and Means Committee and all the staff for their hard work during this session. If it wasn't for their commitment and hard work, we would not be done with the budget. I think we did it on time and smoothly without much problem. So I thank them, and I hope they don't desert us. Hope they'll be around next session.
Thank you, Chairman Figuer. Yeah, I guess you just have to continue
Speaker, I
incentivize.
forgot one thing.
Yes, go ahead, Chairman Willie.
Thank you, Speaker. The senator, the new senator and our PIO have never received their cell phones and laptop computers that were asked earlier. And up to now, they have not gotten anything from the our home office.
Okay,
Senator needs a laptop, a cell phone, and so is the PIO. Thank you,
definitely.
Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Chairman Willie, for reminding us. I'm sure our staff out there hear you loud and clear. I'm sure we've already informed them. I guess there is a process to follow, but it should not be this
Well,
delayed.
Speaker, I thought you gotta serve 1 year before you can receive those things.
Well, that's
Hey,
not the rules.
Speaker,
Anyway,
you too.
I
thank you,
just spoke
Chairman
with,
Willie,
I
for
just spoke
reminding
with
us.
Vice President in regards to the laptop and the phone, and he said he's gonna return it. Thank you.
That's up to him. Our staff will work with him on that. Okay, thank you. John Berman, you have any?
Yes, well, thank you, Speaker. Maybe it'll be also an announcement on our behalf. I would, on behalf of the Bombay delegation, I would really like to thank the entire Congress staff for the entire year FY22. We've came a long way, especially hoping that Chuk is part of it, but November 1st, they'll open up their borders. But we've worked the entire year through the hardship times. So on your behalf, the Bombay delegation is wanted to thank the entire Congress staff, and then we're giving them a good dinner tonight at Hideaway Bar and Grill. And we have some food, some sakao, and some wine, good wine to enjoy. So That's also a part of my announcement. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Chairman Perman. There are many ways to keep the morale of our staff, and nothing beats food and drinks. So thank you for continuing that. Okay,
Our salary increase.
and salary increase next. That's probably the most important one. So let's be reminded of that. Thank you, Chairman Perman. Any other miscellaneous business? Any other miscellaneous business? Miscellaneous business? If none, I just want to take this opportunity to just say a few things. First thing, of course, we have once again witnessed an orderly and smooth transition of authority between from Congress. We sent over the new Vice President Palik, and at the same time, we are able to put in the new replacement for the at-large senator from Poshay. And I guess that says a lot about our system, that it's working. And I appreciate all of those who are involved in the process, including Governor Sikra, for doing his part to make sure that this institution continues to be fully represented. And I also want to thank Chairman Figuer and the Ways and Means Committee and our staff, hardworking staff, for working so hard in putting together the budget and including the chairs and members of those various committees, standing committees. It's good that we were able to finish it at least a few weeks before the end of the fiscal year. That gives the president ample time to do his part in reviewing and approving the budget. And of course, one important item, we always don't see it as that, but I thank members for, especially Chairman Perman, for the work on the MyCare Board of Directors. I believe they can now function. And I hope the next session we will be able to have the full complement of the board members. And thank you also for confirming on such a short notice the nomination of appointment of Mr. Jim Lipwe to be our new permanent representative to the UN. It's timely because the UN is in active mode right now with a lot of activities and going on in New York. And I'm glad we were able to do the nomination. Other than that, short recess. Congress is back in session. We're still on the miscellaneous business. If no further miscellaneous business. Acting floor,
Sanitize.
you're muted.
Criso Chapor, Mr. Speaker, and members Karos, I move that this Congress stands stand adjourned, sign that.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the fifth regular session of the 22nd Congress is adjourned sine die. Okay. Those in favor of that motion, say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Thank you, everybody. The motion is adopted. Congress is now adjourned sine die.